Hey, I'm Chris, and I'm a helicopter pilot who wants to fly FPV drones. How hard could it be? The final pieces of my shipment are here. All the parts I need to build an FPV drone. I only have 2 weeks until our big trip to Newfoundland, and I have this idea of parking the helicopter on top of a waterfall or some sort of scenic gorge and flying through the helicopter and then over the waterfall. But in order to do that, I need to figure out how to build these things and fly these things. I don't know if you're ever gonna see this footage, because if I fail at it, I'm probably not gonna show you. I'll show you what's in the boxes. Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Nicholas Isn't Just Some Nerdy Shit. When is it now? July 2019?
Yes.
We probably won't post this for another few months because I have to go into maximum training mode because I just bought a bunch of new stuff off the internet. You went away for a weekend and you came back and all these boxes show up. I spent all weekend researching and then ended up buying a bunch of stuff. So this is gonna be my first drone build. It's not like drone racing where you're trying to go fast. What I've kind of stumbled upon is a sort of cinematic drone sequences using like manual first-person view drones, and they fly completely different from a normal consumer drone. I know nothing about any of this stuff. I have no idea if this stuff's gonna work together. I have no idea how to build this stuff, and I have no idea how to fly this stuff. I bought this radio, the Taranis X9D.
Oh my god.
I think it's just
this is already getting so nerdy.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch.
Goodbye.
I bought this little controller here,
Hey, you know
and
what?
it has these like little nipples on it that I can use to
They're
fly
not
my drone. Little nodules.
Oh, it's legit just a carbon fiber frame with some 3D printed ducts, because it's a ducted quad.
Quad being quadcopter.
Yes, quadcopter, mini quad,
Huh.
multi-rotor.
Okay.
Crossfire receiver, transmitter, Immortal T antenna, stubby antenna, 4 motors, which is just motors with wires attached to them. A little mini camera. Gonna carry a GoPro, but you use just like an old analog camera. That's all you need, just like a low quality preview just to see where you're going. The GoPro is gonna be sort of the full HD feed that you're gonna see in video. TBS Crossfire.
What shit is in this box, man?
It's a lot of stuff. FPV goggles,
Why does this remind me of paintball days?
because paintball is also nerdy. I also probably went overboard on it. A directional antenna and an omnidirectional antenna. So it's got the little beep boop beep boop.
This is like a lot of stuff. Like, when are you gonna have time to build this shit? Like, you work all the time and then you sleep the rest of the time. Oh my god, there's more?
Yes, there's more.
my
You need a flight controller. This is the brains. Some props. Gotta cut them down so they can fit in my ducts. I'm gonna hopefully turn all this into a drone that works. I have a feeling this is gonna be frustrating. Anyway, I haven't soldered in years, so I gotta figure out how to do that again. Oh, my plan is to just hook this up to the computer and train on a simulator, and hopefully just get really good at flying a video game. And then hopefully when I transition to the real thing, it'll be natural.
Oh my god.
What are you oh my godding for?
Alright, shall we get to building?
Yes. Update. I don't really have any idea what I'm doing. Lots of checking the instruction manual with pinout diagrams. I've got everything basically wired up. Everything works, except the 2 of the motors are spinning in the wrong direction. So there's 2 options. You can either swap the wires on the board and resolder them, or you can just assign them in software to flip it around, which you think would be the easiest thing, but the utility that they make for the computer doesn't run on Mac. And I don't have a Windows box in this house, so I'm just gonna resolder these wires.
I'm excited to see it fly.
I'm
Because
excited.
you built it. It's really sweet.
Yeah, I built it with my own 2 hands. What if I crash it and it
So
breaks?
yeah, it's gonna be really sad too if you ever like crash it in the ocean and then lose the whole thing.
It's called a smoke stopper. If you have your wiring done wrong and you short circuited something, it'll just fry your whole project. So this is kind of a good thing to have if you're plugging things in for the first time. Success. Excellent. Okay, back to the build. (3:45 a.m. Friday night). Finished the drone. Gonna see if it flies. Gotta go make some adjustments. This is the most frustrating thing. Give up. I'm going to bed. Update from last night. I figured out that the issue with the throttle, it was going crazy because I think I had this setting called air mode. So I hooked this back up to the computer, changed the settings, turned that off, and then it seemed to hover a bit better. Hopefully I can get a hang of it, but it flies. So let's just try to do it outside. I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit easier to control here.
Get your goggles on.
Honey, don't make fun of my goggles. You think they're really silly, don't you?
Yeah. Fuck, so fast.
It definitely is difficult to fly. There's no doubt about that. FPV drone update. We're going to take it into a field here and try to do some wide open stuff and see if we can get something that is somewhat usable for a cinematic type video. We've got a big trip coming up in about a week, so I'm hoping to have at least skills somewhat good enough to be able to get some good footage for our video. So. I found it. This is actually a pretty good terrain. There are a cluster, a few trees, so I can kind of practice weaving in and out of them, or slamming into them as I just demonstrated.
I get Lyme disease out here today.
You're not gonna get Lyme disease, honey.
My God, man.
All right, so the drone flies, but I'm absolutely terrible at flying it. Like, so bad. This is not usable at all.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we got a week till we leave.
You gotta level up, man.
We gotta do a drone training montage.
Drone training montage.
So a lot of time has passed. We have since been on our trip to Newfoundland. That video will come later, but I got the holy grail of drone shots. We landed the helicopter on top of this ravine that ended up in a waterfall, and I flew the drone through the helicopter and then over the waterfall. It was the reason I got into FPV drones was to get this shot, and we got it. So mission accomplished. So here's that clip right now. So there you have it, that's the clip. I'm still shocked that it actually worked out because there were so many things that could have gone wrong. So I guess this is proof that yes, you can go from knowing nothing about FPV drones to being able to get somewhat usable clips in a matter of weeks, but it's gonna take a lot of hard work and devoting every bit of spare time that you have to it. The learning curve for flying these and building these is like that. I thought there was gonna be a lot more translation of my helicopter knowledge into drones, which wasn't really the case. There's some similar overlapping concepts like thrust and hovering and returning your controls back to the center, but from a control input perspective, it's completely different. It's a pretty fun hobby, I gotta say. If you buy a ready to fly, bind and fly they call them, if you buy that, you're not gonna understand how they're put together, and when you crash it and break parts of it, you won't be able to fix it. So I would recommend learning how to build them as a necessary part of this whole journey. Since our trip, I've actually bought and assembled parts to make a full 5-inch quad, so it's a lot faster, more powerful. If you've seen our camera camp videos, that's what I was using for that for the most part. So I know a lot of you guys are gonna ask for a full build tutorial to do exactly what I did. I'm gonna link to a blog post that I wrote down in the description box that will have a full list of all the gear that I bought, as well as a link to all the resources that I used to get where I am. If you're new here, we're not an FPV channel. We're not even really a dedicated helicopter channel for that matter. We're sort of centered in the film/video genre, but we kind of document what's going on in our lives. I will, however, make a dedicated video on a cinematic FPV workflow because there are so many little tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way. Anything from techniques in flying to GoPro settings to stabilization and post with Real Steady. By the way, check that program out, affiliate link in the description box below. That program is basically magic. I'm also gonna cover how I color grade. That's probably gonna be a dedicated video all on its own because it's such a vast topic. And we may talk about some things like soundscapes, things like that. So expect more of those types of videos to come, but we're not gonna do the nitty-gritty build videos where I'm just soldering wires together just because we're not an FPV channel. So there you go. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Oh, beat me to it. Beat me to it.
I'm here. Idiot.
It's so cheese.
So good.
I wonder how many people are going to see that as the first
And
video of
just,
our
like,
channel
video.
and be like, oh my god, who the hell is this?
Watch time, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's classic Chris Nicholas, honestly.
It is classic Chris Nicholas.
Drone ASMR. Switch warning. Throttle warning. Sorry. That's not relaxing to you at all. But I literally was doing this every minute of waking free time that I had. I was doing this.
Yes, he was. Lunchtime, solo. Bedtime, solo. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Warning. Switch warning. The soundscapes of our house. Bean juice.